Hey Rythmia, how are you today? This is Gerry. I'm coming to you live from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in beautiful Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We're a life advancement center that specializes in plant medicine and lots of different modalities that are combined together to produce a very, very, very unique result. A really unique result. Hi, Lindsay. And what that result looks like is this: out of every 1,000 people that come, 941 have this life-changing experience, this miracle. And what we believe, hey Patty, Claudia, hey Jen, what we believe this miracle is from, okay? I don't know if you can see this. Am I doing this right? I gotta look. Okay. We believe that you were born and something happened to you between when you were conceived and 5 years old, and you split from your soul but stayed in your aura. And we were told this by the plants. And the hero's journey is forgetting that and then remembering it and then coming back and merging again. And once you are merged, your life changes. Your life is different. And I'm terribly, terribly sincere when I say this, and I'll tell you why I can say it. I've had 5,000 guests here who had that happen to them and tell me what their life is like after they've been here. And here's the interesting thing. 97.55% of those people that have that happen here, 6 months later, say that this was the week that changed their life. Changed their life. So what we're about here at Rythmia is telling the world, you don't have to live in pain. You don't have to live in sorrow. You don't have to live in confusion. That there's another way of being, and it's a softer way, and yet it's highly productive as a way of living. It's a highly productive way of living. So so this is Rythmia. This is what we're about. We're in Guanacaste, which is a direct flight from Houston, from Miami, from LA, from New York. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And these things happen all the time. Now, for the last 2 weeks, I haven't been here. I was with my son who celebrated his 28th birthday. I have two sons, and my one son just turned 28, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time. But I want to tell you about something. Something happens at Rythmia and in our lives, and when we're connected and we pick what it is that we want to do, there's something that happens to some of us that we lock onto that, we never waver, and we never quit until we get it. So when we decide what we're going to do with our lives, especially when we're merged, then when we're merged, we're picking from the right place. So if I'm not merged, I'm picking from a bad place. It's like when you're addicted to sugar. You're picking what you eat from a bad place. I want sugar. I want more sugar. I want more sugar. Well, it's the same thing in our lives. When we're not merged, we're picking from a wrong place. But if we are merged, hi Zin, and hi Johnny, we're picking from a place that's really super cool. And then we have to make the decision that, do I want this bad enough that I'm not going to quit until I get it? And if we say yes to that, no matter what anybody says, we have to stay the course. And that's what winds up as being a success. The 10-year overnight sensation. And I can say this because I had a lot of lucky financial success in life. And I went home and I saw my kid. And I just want to tell you a story. And it's sad, but it's such a great story. So my kid, when my kid was growing up, I guess when my kid was, when Gerry, I have two sons, Gerry and Patrick. When Gerry was about 12, I believe, I had about $60 million in the bank, and I was a guy who was super strong and personality-wise was very direct and didn't care too much about what people thought. My son wanted to be a musician, and at the time, I thought this is the dumbest fucking thing that anybody could come up with. And at that, he had been playing instruments since he was 7, and in my opinion, he wasn't too good. He wasn't that good. And I thought, oh, fuck, this kid's never going to make it. Never, ever going to make it. So you know what I told him to do? I told him to back himself up and go to school to get a business degree. That's what I told him. I didn't come out and say, hey, you're not good at this. I said, Gerry, it's such a small percentage of people on the earth who do good in this thing. And I want you to back yourself up. And I don't want you to have high expectations. I can't believe that this is who I was then and this shit came out of my mouth. So fast forward a bunch of years. My son is now 28. And he has songs on Netflix and A$AP Rocky, 2 of his songs on his album. And I was sitting with him, looking at him and thinking, oh my God, I told this kid he couldn't do it, and he's fantastic at it. Fantastic because he didn't listen to me, he never gave up, and he never wavered. He never changed his mind over what he wanted to do. The highlight for me was a couple weeks ago, he sent me a video clip of Kanye West playing his song at Coachella. This is a kid I told not to fucking do music. And talk about coming from a point of love. I mean, if you're sitting there with your dad and your dad is telling you no, then hey, that's from a loving place. Maybe you shouldn't do this. But my son didn't fucking listen. He didn't listen. And this is what I'm telling you about your life. When you're aligned and you have the thing that you want, don't listen to anybody. Don't listen to anybody. Experts. I mean, if you take a look at these stories, especially from Hollywood, about all the experts that told these people they were wrong. Look at Sly Stallone. I mean, fuck, everybody who knew anything told him it was a no-go. And that was one of the biggest movies of all time. Yeah? But he knew what he wanted. He was aligned into it. And this is what I see people do. And the reason I bring up my son Gerry is because I'm really hurt that I told someone I love that much not to follow their dream at that time. I would never say that now. I would never say that now, and it's easy because he's winning so much, But I wouldn't say it because I'm a different person. But what I'm telling you is when you find that thing in life, when you're aligned and you find that thing that you want, please don't listen to anybody. I don't care how much they know about it. In other words, if you're a chef and Salt Bae tells you you're no good, or the mean English guy, if he tells you you're no good, I don't give a shit. That should just motivate you into doing more because you made a decision to stick with this, to win or die. And if you make that decision that I'm going to make this work or I'm going down in flames, then and only then is there freedom, because then you're free in it. If you're not free from that decision, you're constantly monitoring, should I stay or should I go? Constantly. And that's hell. And by the way, if you're in should I stay or should I go, you can never get the ball in the hole. Ever. Ever. You have to be in it to win it. And I know that sounds Tony Robbins-y and all that shit, but it's the truth. If you don't leave the dock and pull that rope back in the boat, you're staying fucking there. You might be in the boat, but you ain't going to the new world. You're staying on that dock. You have to pull that shit in the boat and then go. And by that means fucking damn the torpedoes. It means we're going. And I'm going to tell you what's so crazy. The universe responds to that thought. The universe responds to the thought of we're going no matter what. We're going to win at all costs. We're going to create this life as a healer. If I'm a healer and I'm creating my life as a healer, I'm going to create this. I'm going to create it the way that I want, and I'm not going to quit until I have it, because it's what I'm supposed to do. If that's banking for you or music or whatever, you cannot go in with scared pants. You can't leave the dock and still have the rope on it. You have to pull in and get in the boat and go. If you take a look at the thing, we have a beautiful week here this week. We have Juanito Chindon, my Taita is here, and his whole crew. I mean, there's a guy who gave up everything, doesn't even think once about should I be doing something else, right? You're doing what you should be doing, or you're not. And if you're not, stop doing it and get doing the thing that you're supposed to do. You know what? We got, like, statistically right now, I think we got 76.32 years on the planet. Don't waste a fucking day of it. doing something that's not moving your heart. Don't waste a day of it doing something that's not making a difference in what you perceive is making a difference in the world. Don't waste time. And don't listen to people who are telling you can't do it. I don't give a shit how much your mother loves you. If she's telling you that you can't do it, that's out of her fear, not yours. When I was telling that to Gerry, you know what I was trying to do? Protect his disappointment. And you know what he did? He taught me the greatest lesson a child could teach his parent. Not to be afraid for them, because they have all the goods they need to get where they got to go. He taught me how not to be afraid for him. So now that I see, and here's the craziest thing, he paid me back money and things that a father loves to see. Yeah, he paid me back money, and I'm like, wow, this kid is a man. And not only is it, Kanye is doing his song at Coachella in front of about 100,000 people. I'm like, oh my God. He was right and I was wrong. The children are our teachers. And you know what? That was said by so many people, but when it's demonstrated in your own life, holy shit, how real. And not only does it make me think that, it makes me question everything that was negative that I ever told someone who was in a developmental stage. Shit, shut the fuck up. Tell them they can do it. Because whether they think they can or they think they can't, they're right. And your words can push them right into this. So be careful how you talk to yourself. Once you decide to leave the nest, once you decide to unhook the rope from the dock and we're going, then by all means talk to yourself as, I'm going to get there or I'm going to die. I'm not going to quit and I'm not going to change my mind. Because here's the thing. This has been proven over and over and over and over again, that the time you spend starting a new life is about 7 years to get any mastery over it. Hey, you do that 3 times, that's 21 years. If you start out when you're 20, now all of a sudden you're 41 and you're starting fucking something new. Stick with this thing. Find the thing that gives you sparks. Then once it gives you sparks, get good at it. And once you get good at it, it starts giving more sparks and more sparks. And that's where you stay the thing and you grind it in and you get it going, right? This is a life. Now, a lot of you are saying, well, why do you say that? What gives you the thing? I was super lucky at business. I was a millionaire in my 20s, then a multi-millionaire, then a multi-millionaire, and blah, 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 blah. And how did I do it? I just did it by not quitting. That's it. I don't have a special talent. I flunked out of high school. I got kicked out of high school. Didn't go to college. Yeah. I did it. I did it because I locked in. And I want to tell you what. I was doing it from a wrong place. And I still locked in. Now I'm doing it from a right place. We built this beautiful place called Rythmia. And it's actually a heaven on earth. And we produce miracles here every week. And I say the word miracles with pride because it's miraculous. And this week we have, I think, 91 people here. It's a full house. And we're going to have the most miraculous week with the most miraculous healers. But the good thing is this. When you leave here and you're aligned, now you got to do the work. Now the work starts. People, it's so funny because this statistic, 97.55% of the people at 6 months later say this was the week that changed their life. The 4% who don't are people that came out and expected it to do it for them. And it doesn't work that way. What you do is your software got retuned. Now you got to go to work and compute. And what does going to work and computing mean? It means getting quiet with myself and telling myself the truth that I don't want to be a this. I want to be a that, and making that decision. And when I make that decision, I make it in a win or die mind frame. I'm going to get good at this thing, or I'm not going to. I'm going to die. And that is really it. The thing is. My favorite, one of my favorite fighters, Mike Tyson, said this. He was getting interviewed, and he said, "What makes you act like an animal like that?" And he said, "When I go into the ring, I decide, I say that I'm going to beat this guy or I'm going to die. And the commentator said, well, isn't that a little extreme? He said, it is for the other guy. Bingo, right? And I know that fighting is not a spiritual explanation, but I'm going to tell you something. When we started the Rythmia, and everybody laughed at me, and experts, guys who own successful retreat centers in Costa Rica, were like, "What? This guy's nuts, right?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I am nuts, but I'm either going to make this work or I'm going to die." And it took everything in me, and I had to convince these beautiful healers. I had to convince these people that there was something to what I was doing. The Taitas, the Leos, the Mitras, the Brads, the Scots, the people that work here to come here and to do this work with us. And now they're all convinced, and they were all believers because they believed from the beginning. The rest of the people never believed, and they probably still don't believe, even though I believe we're one of the busiest places in Costa Rica, yeah, and on our way to being what I think is the greatest plant-based retreat center in the world. We're doing it, and you can do it. What I'm going to tell you is this: once you found this place in your heart where you connect to the thing that you want, don't let your father talk you out of it. Don't, and God forbid, what a fucking mess if I had been successful in talking my son out of music. What a loss for the world, what a loss for him, what a loss for me. Terrible, right? So what I'm going to tell you is that when you connect, don't listen to your mother, and don't listen to your father, and don't listen to the expert, and don't listen to anyone that's telling you no, because only you make this thing. And you know what? The thing you might like doing, you might suck at it. And that's okay. Because you know what? 2 years from now, you're not gonna. You're gonna get better and better and better and better. And if you don't quit, you're going to win, and you're going to be the best at this thing that you want to do. So please, by all means, don't listen to your husband. Don't listen to your wife. Don't listen to your kids. Don't listen to the expert in the field. What's the chef's name? I forget his fucking name. Gordon. If he's telling me I can't cook, and if I want to cook, I'm going to prove him fucking wrong. I want to tell you that to not listen to anyone and to stay and pray. You know, I was talking to Carlos today, who's with Titus Crew. He's a shaman himself. He's a good guy, and he said something. He said to something, hustle and pray. And what a great thing. Pray like there's no God. Pray like there's only God, and work like there's none. Just get in and do your thing and chop the wood, and carry the water. Like, do it. And you'll be surprised how the thing that you like, as you get better at it, you like it more. And all of a sudden, it's no longer work. And all of a sudden, it's art or creation, and boom, you're in it. So I'm going to ask you, and I have a special thing today. A friend of ours, and so Rythmia is a busy place, and I'm going to tell you, I say this all the time, it gets busier all the time, and within a year, you won't be able to get in here. And I'm telling you, that's the truth. So when we have a week that's a little slow, I like to tell people so they can come into that week. And I have a great guy here, Lee McCluskey. You might remember him from Dallas, And he's just this wonderful cat. But he's a painter beyond. He's an artist beyond words. And his Malibu home is all painted. It's beyond description. But his class, his workshop, is June 9th to June 16th, right around the corner. Liberating Your Inner Creator in the Theater of Consciousness. This is one you got to see. I did this workshop with him. It was amazing. So please come here. Please come here and see what we're doing. And I have to tell you what, there's enough pain in the world. There's enough confusion. There's so much fucking confusion and so much pain, and so much hesitation. I want to take all that away from you. Come here, line up, and then go into the world to participate in this shift. Participate in this shift with your heart. And this is the fun thing. We're a community, and we're doing this together as a group. There's Dr. Jeff. Hey, Jeff. we're doing this as a community and a group, and the world is changing, and it's changing through clarity. It's not changing through fog and fuzziness and I don't know, and it's changing through clarity. And clarity begins with an alignment of self, with a remerging of your soul. So come on and join the team and come down here and book this. And if you've been here, come back and get a part of the family. We love you guys. And we're going to have a great week with Taita Juanito this week. And we want to thank his crew. And hey, Sven, I'm going to see you in a couple weeks. I've been looking for you. Come down here and get this thing going and be with us and enjoy this thing that's Rythmia. God bless you. God hold you. God keep you. And we will see you in a week, Sven. And we'll see everybody else as soon as you can get here. We love you guys. And Lindsay, and tell Ryan that I'll see him tomorrow. And see you guys. God bless you. And we will see you next week. Peace.